Welcome to the Completely Unnecessary Podcast. I'm just doing great and fine. It is Tuesday.
Pat just had a Mets meltdown.
It's Tuesday
before hitting record.
October 4th, 2022. We're in the fall. That's Ian Ferguson. I'm Pat Contry. On the show today, what will we be discussing?
Oh, geez. We're going to talk about the prices of auctions continuing to go down, video game auctions. We're going to talk a little bit about Fandom, I guess, NFTs. WW2E2K tattoo controversy. Google Stadia is dead. Your voicemails and more.
Whew, you got through it, Ian.
Woo! On this episode.
You got through it.
I'm very, very tired.
Whew, okay.
Very. Sleep was not good last night.
We talked about how great Costco is, the American dreams. Costco.
We sure did. We filleted Costco in the bonus bit.
At patreon.com/CU podcast. And at first I said, we're not going to get 20 minutes out of this. We got 20 minutes on the dot and I had to cut it off.
Could have gone another 20.
We could
have gone another 20.
We went over the
We didn't even get into the electronics.
We didn't get into that stuff. We didn't get into a lot of like the chairs and you know,
sometimes a big
furniture.
Pile of jeans in the middle of the store.
Oh yes,
I've
the
done
socks,
that before.
The book section, the vitamins, the protein drink section, all that good stuff. We
it's
didn't
like jeans, $10. Okay, I mean they're probably gonna suck, but I'll buy a pair of jeans for $10.
12 socks for $4. Okay, and of course
6 of them will be usable.
And of course the glorious outdoor
food court,
food court, and like the prices were lower than what I thought they were. I did get the hot dog right. The hot dogs. The quarter-pound hot dog.
Well, everyone knows the hot dog is $1.50. That's like the classic, like,
but I didn't realize
thing to know about Costco.
I didn't realize it was 50 cents for a fountain drink still.
59.
Oh, 59, excuse me. 59. I did not realize, and then everything else is so cheap still. Under $2 for a slice of pizza.
Yep. We can talk more. We can just redo that.
We can redo it. We could.
Pay money for it. Pay money for it and go listen to what we said about Costco.
You know, Costco prices stay the same, but you know what continues to go up? Video game prices, especially Sony. And on the tail end of $70 games, they're doing a remaster. I try to work that in. Another remaster.
That's all right.
Last of Us remaster. Is that out yet, or it's coming out?
It's out.
It's out.
I think
for $70, and people are complaining because it's the second time they've remade or remastered this Last of Us.
One was a remaster. One was a remake.
Whatever. It's within like 9 years.
Yep.
So
they're never a company to not one up themselves. Sony said hold my beer to their other hand, and they are releasing they're working supposedly a remaster or remake. They're not really sure yet. Is in the works for Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that came out in February of 2017. Excuse me. And it seems to make sense, I think. Well, it doesn't make sense, but I think what they're doing is like The Last of Us 1 remake was basically like used all the I think it took all like the quality of life upgrades from part 2 and put them into and put part 1 into that engine, I guess. I think that's probably what they're trying to do here. They want the original game to more closely reflect the most recent game that they put out. No matter how you look at it, though, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
This IGN
It wasn't even like an early game on the PS4. It was like a mid-life cycle game on the PS4.
Adam Bankhurst reporting this in IGN. So first off, he notes there was a PC release in 2020. And that release added improved draw distance, higher frame rates, but it wasn't considered a remaster or remake. It's the probably closest thing to it, though, because if you got a nice graphics card.
To a remaster, yeah.
And that's the way I'm starting to look at this. It's like, well, Ian, instead of just having a PC game and updating your graphics card to get a better version of it, we're just going to sell you all new version of every fucking game that comes out every 3 years.
Right, and I think that's where like PC gaming has the advantage is because you can take those games and drive up the sliders, I guess. Yeah.
Draw distance, high resolution,
higher
options,
all
frame
that.
rate, or mods. GTA 5 famously has mods that look incredible. They look lifelike. The graphics
on a console, though, that's where it matters. You get what you get. You're not going to find ways to boost the performance. That's the term I was looking for. Jesus Christ, boost the performance.
The sliders. There's going to be
sliders. You can do the sliders.
Sliders. That was a good show. I like sliders a lot.
My dad loved that.
I had a crush on the girl with the short hair.
I don't think I ever watched it.
You never watched Sliders?
No.
Oh, Jerry McConnell. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to get a Netflix series, so the theory is that this and Last of Us, since they have movies or or series.
Just to keep them looking good in the public eye, even though the
it's a
last
cash-in.
Horizon Dawn looks like the PS4 version looks great.
This is a cash-in.
Yes,
This is a cash-in.
this is a true cash-in.
If you told me maybe, okay, this is going to be like $35, this game. It's going to be a quote-unquote budget $40. It's a full-price game. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, there's no way Sony's gonna do that for anything less than $70.
No. That's what's annoying about
You're
it.
gonna pay and say thank you to Sony.
You said that kind of creepily.
Yep.
You're going to pay and say thank you to Ian.
Yes.
Fandom acquires GameSpot and Screen Junkies and everything else.
I don't know a whole lot about this.
I don't know about the Fandom conglomerate.
But the constant pulling shit in under same umbrellas is never something I like to see. Soon it's all going to be Disney, Microsoft, and Fandom. So Metacritic
And Embracer and
yeah,
Tencent.
Embracer. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, absolutely Embracer and Tencent.
GameSpot, Metacritic, TV Guide,
I didn't even know TV Guide was still around.
Fanatical, Comic Vine. I've heard of Comic Vine. I don't know what's on it. Cord Cutters. Don't know what that is. Giant Bomb, gigantic site. GameFAQs, one of the oldest resources of gaming news, go back to like the mid-90s, and Screen Junkies, which I've heard of. So they're trying to get like news. They're trying to get resources here. They're trying to get like fresh content sites. Metacritic is another resource. They're trying to just pull in everything.
Right.
Deal worth $55 million.
Honestly, that doesn't seem like as much money as I would have thought.
I don't know. I don't know how much money
Any of this shit is worth.
I don't know what a site like GameFAQs is
Just
worth.
bringing through. True. I mean, I still use GameFAQs because I'm old and I like text-based stuff. But I mean, I doubt that many, people who have grown up in the modern age are going to GameFAQs for text-based walkthroughs. They're using YouTube.
Yeah, I still go for information when you're doing certain guidebooks. It's helpful.
Information.
This was owned by Red Ventures before. $55 million deal. Fandom was founded by Wikipedia's co-founder Jimmy Wales in 2004, and entrepreneur Angela Beasley. So there you go. So Fandom's taking control. We're thrilled to add these powerful, authoritative brands into the Fandom platform, which will expand our business capabilities and provide immersive content for our partners, advertisers, and fans. I don't understand what GameFAQs does for that. The trusted insights, ratings, and content they provide will make us a one-stop shop for fans across their entertainment and gaming journey. It's just scary because you don't want them to shut down something like GameFAQs. There's so much information on that site.
Right.
So
that would be awful to see something like that go away.
It's like Atari trying to buy up Moby Games. It's like you don't want them to shutter something like that. There's
No.
so much information. They're not perfect, but you need them.
I think GameFAQs was already under that umbrella.
Under what umbrella?
The Fandom one. I don't think that's part of the recent acquisition.
Oh.
I think they've been under Fandom for a while, so if Fandom hasn't done anything bad to them already, I don't think they will.
Okay, you might be right. Yeah, that's one on the list.
That
A
list
couple
was
of these-
just, this is everything they have, but what they just acquired was not GameFAQs. I don't believe.
I mean, it says in the first article that including online publishers, Comic Vine, GameFAQs, GameSpot. So
Okay. Well, hopefully they don't.
we'll see about that. NFT trading has collapsed more and more. It's like a black hole.
Yeah, I don't really have a ton to say on it other than we've been covering this and we know it's a nightmare.
For a year and a half, we've been on first of all, what the fuck's NFT? To, oh my god, this is a weird, dumb concept. To, why are people putting money into this? To, now is a disaster and people are losing money as we had predicted and everyone else.
So yeah, NFT trading volumes have collapsed 97% from the January peak. No surprises. And I got to say, going through seeing the occasional NFT Twitter threads that are still out there, the people that are left are really trying to put on a strong face about it. Really trying to put on a strong face about it.
I saw a thread about
Buy the dip. Buy the dip in NFTs.
how to survive in an NFT bear market. Like, that's a real fucking thing. That's like saying there's a fucking Beanie Baby bear market. No, there's just
It was a market and now it's not.
it's just a speculative bubble and it
Yeah.
bursts and it's nothing. Like
done.
that's it. That's how this stuff usually works out. There's no speculation at ltimatinocom though. We know what's there. We know we have good stuff. We know we got RBI baseball stickers. We have the enamel pin, which you can't see because the Halloween basket's in front here. You got the stickers. You got the stickers. You got the limited sticker. It's limited. You got the See You podcast stickers. You got Danny approved. You got Pat and Frank stickers at ltimatinocom and the certain guidebooks for sale as well. I'm going to be on Twitch Wednesday, twitch.tv/countrycode, ! point Ian. Ian is not in the chat
No.
on Wednesday. He's not in the chat. That's actually a command. And then we will be at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, our triumphant return after 3 years out. That's going to be in, God, a week and a half. We're going to be on a flight. October 15th and 16th. That's so weird.
I mean, I'm leaving next Wednesday, so this is a week away, and that's just
you're leaving on
popping my brain. Yeah.
And then, so we're going to be there. We're going to have a panel on Saturday afternoon, a live podcast panel. It should be fun. Then I think I have a panel on Sunday as well. And then the next week, I will be in Arlington, Texas for Retropalooza. That is the 22nd and 23rd of October. That's what's going to be. Fun times are happening. Also at PRGE, the Blockbuster Championships is returning. So famously, the last Blockbuster on Earth, it's a mom and pop. They just basically kept the branding after corporate went down and, franchisees. So the last one is in Oregon. James Rolfe did a video about visiting it. It's not that far out from where the convention is. I think it's like 20 minutes. I don't think it's too far.
Okay.
Something like that. So powered by Double Jump Events and hosted by the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, the Blockbuster World Video Game Championship 3, since the last one was like 94, 95, will create new memories for a new generation. It's free to enter for all. We didn't talk about this before. So they're gonna have a Blockbuster room set up, like an experience room, like how the store looks still, which is cool. Portland does like to have it.
I like it when they do that sort of thing. Like the one year, our friend Stefan did the counselor's corner room.
That's right.
And then out on the floor, they usually do like a 70s style room with like a just an area with like a couch and like a wooden TV.
And a shag carpet. They usually do
Yeah.
70s. And they usually do an 80s one as well. They usually do 2 at Portland.
Yep.
Which is nice there. So the games that will be played there, they're going to focus on, let's see. When Sega Saturn dominated the 32-bit wars, and Atari Jaguar was the best-selling cartridge-based 64-bit system. So I guess they're doing like an alternate reality on this. Then again, it might have been the best cartridge. No, it wasn't. Super Nintendo was probably, N64 was way above Jaguar. Jaguar sold like dick. But anyway, this is an alternate reality. So the round one is Saturn Bomberman, the 10-player one. Single elimination, match mode, battle mode, wide stage, singles. Can't imagine having a shrunken 10-player. No draws. First player to win 3 battles moves on to round 2. Wow, that's going to be tense. So only one out of 10 moves on. That's where I will not do well. Like, the second game I would do well at. The second game is called Downfall OG Plus. This is like it's a platformer, arcade-style free runner, but constantly it scrolls upwards. You got to keep from falling up. On platforms, you can't fall down, you can't fall up. And there's like fruits to pick up. It's an interesting-looking game. It's a homebrew, so that will be for the grand prize. There's only 2 rounds. And so the first round is on Saturday, and the second round is on Sunday. The grand prize is $1,000 in PRGE Exhibitor Hall shopping spree. You're going to have half a day to spend it on Sunday, so I guess you really got to run around. So if I won one of those prizes, Ian, I might have to just run around or just give it away or just maybe use it for next year. I don't know how that would work out. Anyway, so yeah, that's an interesting one. I might enter it.
Yeah, I think you should give it a go.
It's 11:30 a.m. is round 1.
On Saturday.
Our panel, I believe, is at 12:15, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I might have to ask to be the first one to play. Get in early. That's fun if they're doing something like that, though. I honestly would be more into it if they have like a trophy, like some sort of like trophy.
Sure.
That'd be nice.
All right, so this is one that I believe we probably talked about this 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever this was. Yeah. But the WWE 2K Orton tattoo artist wins the lawsuit against Take-Two 2K. So this is interesting with implications, and it's interesting in a couple of ways. Basically what happened is Randy Orton was featured in a WWE 2K game, and he had some tattoos on him that were the original artwork of a tattoo artist, and the tattoo artist sued for infringement. It's not fair use, basically.
Yeah, copyright.
And I mean, kind of surprisingly, I think here, they sided with the tattoo artist, and basically she was paid, she was entitled to $3,750 for the usage of her tattoo designs. But the main point, one of the other main points is that they determined that, so basically, all in all, the jury had to make decisions regarding 3 major points: fair use, the dollar amount of potential damages, and whether the tattoo designs led to any video game profits. and the jury ruled in favor of Catherine Alexander for fair use, and then
That it was not fair
It
use.
it was not fair use. They said she was entitled to $3,750 for the usage of her tattoo designs, but the jury ruled, and of course, the tattoo designs did not contribute to the success of the WWE 2K games. It's tough to prove there was some sort of damages there, and
Yes.
that's usually what needs to be proven. So going forward, it's interesting because this is a very new thing, and I don't think this has ever come up with tattoos before. You may have to license out the tattoos to include them in a game, an athlete's tattoos, but if you don't, there's no damages. So I wonder,
minuscule damages that if you get a lawyer, like it's not worth your time.
right?
So that's why
And that's the thing. $3,750 is I can't imagine that's really worth the amount of time spent.
Think about all the movies The Rock is in. He famously has entire
Yeah.
arm, sleeves covering him. So now, in theory, is that artist allowed to go back and sue for all the movies that The Rock appeared in?
Right.
That's what's so weird. Because what this says in theory is that once you get a tattoo, you don't no longer own 100% your likeness and image of your body.
Right, and that's kind of terrifying.
That's the slippery slope, and that's what I tried to bring up originally. I remember there was a couple artists went at me about what about the rights of the artist, but it's like, how do you separate that out? Am I now like controlled in a weird sense by someone else?
I get it with art
yeah.
that's not on a body, but like once it's on your body, yes, that's different.
I looked at it. I think I try to make an analogy about what if a furniture company sued because furniture in a living room was featured in a movie. It's like once you buy it and it's part of your natural environment, like that's part of what it is, the process of getting tattoo. It's like someone's going to walk around with it. Like that's how it's used. That's the use of a tattoo. You walk around with it. Someone commissions art, you can use that in a myriad of ways. But a tattoo is you walk around with it, and it's not a featured part. So it's not a trademark image like on CM Punk. Whenever like this Pepsi tattoo was always taken out, because that's a trademark.
Sure.
But this is not. This is why I think it was a slippery slope. I think
fucking CM Punk and his stupid shitty Pepsi tattoo.
I don't mind that. That's not the worst thing about CM Punk.
No, the Pepsi plunge was a much worse thing than the Pepsi tattoo. The Pepsi plunge is an awful move.
Oh, okay. I don't remember him using that in WWE.
No, that was like indie era.
But it's a slippery slope, obviously, because this for music videos, for movies, for TV shows. But it's glad that they said it has nothing to do with success, because of course it doesn't.
Right.
No one goes to see The Rock's movies because of his tattoos.
No.
Like no one goes to see. Danny Trejo has a ton of tattoos. Like going back, probably 40 years. So like, it's a weird thing, and I think it's going to be appealed. But I don't know how much money they made or lost based upon paying lawyers for this. Maybe they expected to get paid $100,000. They only got $3,750. But the fact that it was declared fair use, not fair use, was shocking, I think, to a lot of people that I saw discussing it. So there you have it there. What else is going on, Ian? What else we got going on? Nintendo is embracing the grassroots Smash community. There's a good article.
Oh, this snuck up on me.
It snuck up on you.
Sorry.
I pasted it a few days ago. So this is interesting just because we talked about how this was changing over the past year. What was it? Panda Global.
Yeah, we did bring up Panda Global before in a previous intro. And they're doing the first officially licensed Super Smash Bros. Circuit. Series of tournaments throughout 2022 will all lead up to the Panda Cup finale from December 16th to 18th. This is from IGN. At the Los Angeles event, will offer a 100K prize pool.
And this is what you get when you get Nintendo back in it.
For 32 of the best Super Smash Ultimate players and Smash Brothers Melee players across the country. Interestingly enough, that they are recognizing Smash Brothers Melee.
You're getting what you want.
They say, for Nintendo, the Panda Cup was a really important kind of step for us in finding a way to partner with the community, because they've been so famously bad at it in the past. Finding a way that they can partner with a company like Panda, who's been in the community, knows the history of the community, and is really familiar with all the grassroots effort that have gone to it. So basically, Panda knows what's going on with it. Nintendo is basically hopping on board and trusting that they are going to, basically handle this right.
And the qualifiers will be at the grassroots ones that have existed before, it sounds like. So that's
sure.
So they're working it with that. It's like, hey, you're going to be an official part at a smaller level for a qualifier. So that, it's the best of both worlds, I guess. You got Nintendo backing them for a big event. You got the grassroots ones, the smaller ones getting recognized in some official capacity.
Yeah, this will hopefully start to breed some goodwill between Nintendo and the Smash Brothers community, because they always seem completely opposed.
Sure. Nintendo shows Panda for its ability to engage and organize the Smash Brothers grassroots community that has built itself over the years and give it the official backing of Nintendo's brand. We've been in the community for 8.5 years. We understand it very intrinsically. We know what it needs. We know it. We have that vision. So this is just a marketing, loss leader for Nintendo. They're not making money directly off of this. They're putting in money. It's just to keep the community going. And then obviously eventually there'll be a new Smash Brothers game. But like that would sell regardless. But so like I said, like
I think it's gonna be a long time before there's a new Smash Brothers.
Sakurai's fucking done.
Yeah,
he's just fucking done. He finally stopped doing his tweets. You said every day of Smash Brothers.
And he started his YouTube channel. He's done with the Smash Brothers.
Do you think Smash Brothers will be like how the Mario Kart probably might become? We'll just keep adding on tracks and little things and just.
Well, they did. I mean, they gave us 2 expansion seasons.
But I mean, in the future, like 5 years from now, it'll just be like it'd be the core game. Like
I think Mario Kart and we've talked about this before. I think Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers have a good chance going forward of within the first 2 years of the new Nintendo system, they release a Smash Brothers and a Mario Kart, and then they just continue to iterate on that for the rest of the lifespan of that system, as opposed to putting out like a 9 or putting out another one. I think we will see Mario Kart and Smash Brothers become Nintendo's first kind of like real games as service.
Sure, unless they just said, hey, on the Super Switch, you're just gonna get the same game. We're just gonna keep selling you more DLC.
Well, I think at some point people are going to want to see mechanics switched up, and I think that's the thing that
I see. I don't personally. I think they're perfect.
Well, I like them, but the people who play like Mario Kart Online now, they've all got their best builds. They know all the stats. I mean, you've kind of maximized what you can do on the game. They've solved it. They've cracked the code, and people want to see little changes and things to make the game competitive again. I love the Mario Kart 8.
Nerf some stuff maybe.
I love the Mario Kart 8 mechanics, but at some point there's got to be a shift to a Part 9 where handling changes a little bit or something happens, because not all the Mario Kart games feel the same. Or you put in new car parts. Basically, you've got to bring the playing field back down to 0.
You got to level it a little bit.
Yeah, you got to level
all
it.
All right, just nerf some things. That's all.
Well, sure, you could do that.
You can do that. Nerf the foam wheels. I don't know I forget what my build is.
I think it's like the baby rollers are the ones that people always use
because they're quicker.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple ideal builds. I don't really play any of them.
Small wheels, you would go slower though, because I'm just doing the.
I think it's maybe for handling.
For handling.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Here's one that took a little longer than we thought it would. Stadia is finally dead. It lasted longer than we thought it would. I think Google realized that they had to put money into it for long enough to make it look like they were attempting to, succeed with it.
This launched November 19th, 2019. So it hasn't even, from release to announcement of death, not even 3 years.
Yep. And it'll go until the end of the year.
We all gave it like a year and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
In terms of guessing, we both undershot. So we... what is it you have to guess without going over? Well, we didn't go over.
We didn't go over. We went with Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
I was less. Was I less optimistic than you on it?
I think I gave them longer. So I would have, I guess, won. But it doesn't matter at this point. We were both greatly off.
There you go, Ian.
Thanks. I appreciate it. So this is interesting for a couple of reasons. It looks really good in one way and really bad in another. The big announcement of Google Stadia, the big news with them closing it down, is that they are refunding all purchases. All Stadia purchases.
All hardware?
Hardware and games.
That's a chunk of cash.
Anything that you fucking put into Stadia, you're getting back.
Had people known that, they might have given it more of a shot.
Yeah. And but the game developer community is getting fucked over. So there have been Stadia, famously, Google did some outreach when they were trying to get people to go onto Stadia. It's like what Epic did when they wanted games on the Epic Game Store. Google was offering, from my understanding, pretty nice development packages to developers to try to, get some exclusive games or unique games on the Stadia streaming service. Well, they didn't tell the developers any of this. that any of this was going on, and developers had games that were set to come out in the next weeks and months on the system where they were going to, make back, that they no longer have a way to make the money on the, they're losing money. Joe Blackburn, some of the developers at Stadia, created a development platform that empowered us to continue to create and evaluate Destiny 2 from home over the past few years. I'm sure today is rough for a lot of folks. Thanks for helping us make games. Brandon Sheffield of Necrosoft, my good friend, he said, I know everybody is having a great time laughing at this, but Stadia had the best dev revenue of any streaming service, and launching Hyper Gunsport there was going to recoup our dev costs. We were launching there in November, and now we're in a much tougher situation. And then Tom Vian, Tangle Tower was due to launch on Stadia in 2 days' time, and this article was the first I heard about it shutting down. So they definitely fucking dropped the ball in terms of communicating with the people who were truly relying on them.
So is this two different things? Obviously, you're going to be out of revenue because the big news, maybe we glossed over this, is that once you hit January 19th, you can't do anything anymore. This is gone. It's wiped from the earth. It's a cloud service. No access to your games you purchase. No access to anything.
I don't believe you can even purchase the games anymore right now.
It's wiped.
Yeah.
So that's the big deal. This is, again, a cloud service. There would be no way to play what you had on your Stadia account after this at all. So obviously devs will be out in the lurch if they were relying on some of the revenue. I have no idea what the base is. I don't think they ever released what the user base is of Stadia. Did they? I think Google never released that.
I'm not sure that they did.
Obviously, it's good enough for some of these devs to get some revenue. Obviously, not big enough to keep it going. So it's tough. July of last year, there's a note saying that, let's see, it might have been 220,000 total active users last year, potentially. 220,000. That to me seems high. Obviously, it's probably been less and less over months, but I would say if you told me that as a high point, maybe 220,000, I think it would maybe half of that, but okay. So there's that, and then obviously if devs still had agreements for new games coming out, maybe that money is no longer available now for the future. Maybe there was stuff set up for next year. So I think there's two things to look at: loss of revenue here. So obviously Google should have given them a heads up. I don't know how these decisions are made at Google. They obviously famously, there's that, what is it, the Google graveyard?
Yeah,
they
kill everything.
They kill everything.
Yeah,
it's a fucking gigantic corporation umbrella company that owns all this stuff, and it seems like there's haphazard decisions being made. I mean, Frank Cifalo was talking about how weird it was when he did the display when they launched it.
Yeah, they were hired to do a job and they did it, but like Stadia wanted, like the things that they showed off at the Stadia display, the Virtual Boy,
Power Glove, ET, Dreamcast.
ET and Dreamcast.
It's nothing to do with...
Maybe it wasn't the Virtual Boy. Yeah, Power Glove, ET, and Dreamcast.
Has nothing to do with one another. And Frank in his thread said, like, it went to committee, it was decided upon, then a week before it was changed.
You chose to show off 3 catastrophic failures when announcing your new game streaming platform. It's insanity.
But the point is like, it's that decision sounded like a disaster that went to committee. A decision that, like, in the grand scheme of things, has nothing to do with the success of your console. Imagine how decisions are made when things actually matter. And that's one of the bad things about this. And that's where I do feel for the devs that like, I don't know what's appropriate. We have not been in a situation like this ever before.
No.
Where like, cause even like Steam PC lasts forever. PS4, PS5, PS3, those are going to be around for at least 10 years. Those maybe 15.
Right.
Some of the stores. That's a long tail. This is, hey, we're closing up shop. This is a disaster. We're bleeding money. While it's weird because everyone knew this was a disaster. People are affected, but it's a disaster nonetheless. I don't know what the appropriate heads up is on this case. Is it a year? Is it 6 months? They want to close this up as soon as they possibly can.
It's certainly more than this.
Oh, yes. Yes. But like, there's not a precedent for a situation like this. There just isn't. So you do feel for some of the devs here. You do.
I absolutely do. I mean, public facing. It's one of those things where they could really have used this as like a goodwill moment. But we live in the modern internet age where you're going to hear about all the devs that got fucked up. If this was the magazine era still, you'd just get an article about Google, refunding everyone. Oh, it was a failed situation.
Sure.
But it's got consumer facing, it's great. Dev facing, it's awful.
Like that's the thing. If you announce this, even God, if you announce it a year before, you're killing it earlier because it's going to leak out that it's going away and no one's going to buy anything. This is such a weird situation. This is cloud gaming. It shuts off. It's wiped at some point. That's why it's just so weird. Like I'm trying to think of what's a scenario where this would work. Like what's a good heads up? Okay, a year heads up. Great. It gets leaked out the next day from devs. Hey, Google Stadia is shutting down in a year. Then it's dead. Then it's dead even sooner. Like it keeps rolling back. It's so fucking weird. They should have, but obviously they should have seen the writing on the wall sooner, and then said, okay, we got to stop putting we can't promise devs money on their games if we know this is going to be around. That's what they should have done at least, because the server's shutting off. That's going to happen eventually. It's just when it's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, that's just going to happen. So it's a weird situation. I like this snarky tweet here on this PC Gamer article from Adit Doshi. To be fair, Google Stadia would face terrible odds in the past 3 years, having to deal with a global pandemic forcing people to turn to online entertainment, graphics cards and console shortages creating high demand for alternatives. If only they hit the market at a better time. I mean, it was the perfect time for it to come to market. It was, and it just was not going to work.
Nope.
I hope that I feel bad. I feel worst of all for that Google Stadia podcast that came after us here and there.
Oh, yeah.
With their snarky comments at us. I feel bad for them having to move on to another career.
Well, it just reminds me, there was that guy, I think he was the guy behind the Best Buy Canada blog. He was like a big Amico. That guy, he had a Stadia tattoo.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he did not.
Yes, he does. Google it, Stadia tattoo. He's got it. You'll see it immediately. He got a Stadia fucking tattoo.
Is that an unironic tattoo?
I would assume so, yes. Because he was unironically backing the Amico.
You can
see it right there. It's John Scar. It's John Scar.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yep. He's got the tattoo.
He got it. What date did he get this? December 13th, 2021. So we knew it was dead. I mean, God, it was dead within a year.
This tattoo's not even a year old.
It says December
2021. December 12th, 2021. This tattoo's not even a year old.
Oh my God. My Stadia, God, I don't want to dunk on him, but holy shit, you are gargling Google's balls for free, for nothing. My Stadia tattoo. Stadia and the community have made an everlasting. There's a Stadia community have made an everlasting impact on my life. Never have I been so excited and a firm believer of a platform and the technology. The community is one of the most loving and welcoming, filled with amazing people. Oh my, okay. I'm sure there's some nice people you've met talking about Stadia. I'm just trying to, oh my God. Oh my God.
Never have I felt like really getting a corporate tattoo, but then one for a product that's like guaranteed to fail and was failing at that point in time.
I mean, they probably knew it was done within a year. They knew it was done. They probably knew it was done by sometime in 2020.
Yeah, I feel like they did, and they just put enough money into it to keep it trickling along so they can say they tried.
And save face.
Yes, and save face.
Oh my Lord. Oh God. I don't want to say freezing cold takes and add him, but oh my Lord. Are people reporting on this the past couple days? I'm guessing?
Yeah, the tattoo has been brought up, but I knew about it ahead of time.
Oh, we never.
I knew about that.
And this is the same person that did those fluffy blowjob Amico Best Buy articles?
Yes.
I don't understand how some of these people think.
How do you get so attached to all of these failure projects?
I don't understand the mentality. I just don't it's like they're aliens to me, people like this. They're like aliens. They don't think like us, Ian. How are they thinking about this stuff?
I don't know, man.
Oh, okay. My head hurts.